Welcome back, it's good to see you again. Today I wanted to talk to you about some headphones, specifically the Sony WF-1000XM4s. So I've been using these headphones for a while now, and I have to say that these are the first in-ear headphones that actually fit my ears. And when I say fit, I mean actually stay in. I've worn these headphones for hours and even during workouts, and they haven't budged in my ears once. And the reason for that is these come with memory foam ear tips. I don't know how it's been so long and we're just now dropping memory foam ear tips, but these are exactly what I needed. Unfortunately for me, I have small ears and I also don't have that little lip that kind of hooks the earbud in and makes it stay in. That doesn't exist on me. So those rubber ear tips, no matter what, they're always going to fall out. Even more so after time and they lose their shape a little bit. With regular earbuds, I can't even sit still and make them stay in, let alone go out for a run with them. In addition to that, the tips do come in small, medium, and large, but to be honest, I'm not quite sure how well they will hold up over time. Now, I don't expect them to lose their shape much, but it does seem like the material will rub away over time. After a couple months, I haven't had an issue yet, but I can definitely feel it coming. And it also makes them harder to clean, because if you rub these too aggressively, they'll definitely tear. So the silicone ear tips have these beaten durability, but these are better everywhere else. I will gladly buy a new pair of ear tips every quarter if I have to, rather than go back to the rubber ear tips. But the problem with that is I haven't seen these sold on the Sony website yet. Some third-party companies make ear tips for these, like Comply, but I haven't tried those yet and I'm not sure how well they work with these particular headphones. So pairing them with new devices is actually pretty easy. You'll actually just tap and hold both buds until it goes into pairing mode. But for some reason, Sony is still selling nearly $300 headphones that only connect to one device at a time. It's definitely not a deal breaker. There are apps and shortcuts that you can use on your device to quickly pair them, but it would have been nice to see multi-device support, especially at this price point. So they come in this off-white and black. I decided to go with the off-white because I was afraid that I would lose the black, and both the case and the buds are this matte material. So it's not going to scratch like shiny plastic, but it will get scuffed and perhaps dye can rub off on them as well. But other than that, the matte finish has been fine. And despite how heavy they look, they're actually really light in your ears. Like, they're so light they almost feel cheap, but I'm also guessing keeping them light helps them stay in your ears better. As far as how they sound, to me there's really nothing unique about them. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, they sound great, but if you told me to listen to most headphones in this price range, they'll probably all sound pretty similar, to be honest. And the ambient sound mode and the noise canceling modes are phenomenal. You can definitely safely run with these outside and still be aware of your surroundings. And if you're traveling, the noise canceling is going to do just as good as any over-ear headphones. So if you're tight on space in your bag or you just really don't feel like bringing your big headphones on the trip, these will do. And I would feel totally comfortable falling asleep on a plane with these without worrying they'll fall out. So when you have them in your ears, the right bud is going to give you your media controls with your play, pause, and the left earbud's going to change your ambient mode and noise canceling modes. Now obviously noise canceling does take a toll on the battery life, but it's honestly something I don't think you need to worry about unless you're on a really long flight. Now I haven't run any official tests myself, but I always either have ambient sound mode on or noise canceling mode on. I never have both of those just off, and I use them for about a solid 5 hours without the case, no problem. And it's not like I got a battery warning at that time, I was just done using them. Now when you return them to the case, obviously that does charge them up, but the case should charge your completely dead headphones at least twice. Leaving them in the case for 30 minutes will give you an additional 5 hours of listening time, so that's great. And on top of being able to charge the case through USB-C, it also charges wirelessly. You get a nice little LED indicator on the outside letting you know the battery status and when it's charging. And if you haven't noticed, the case is extremely small, and I don't see a problem with it fitting into any jean pocket. And that's no matter how tight you like to wear your jeans. Oh, and I haven't used this generation's over-ear headphones from Sony, but I did use last generation's. And I would notice that with the touch panel, it would just always go off all the time. Like if your coat brushed up against it or something, it would start going off. I'm happy to report that this does not happen here. Now you may hear some criticisms about the microphone, especially for the price point. But to be honest, the microphone on any headphones are the least of my worries. I talk on the phone for about 15 minutes a year, so the mics are fine with me. Now one thing I'm not a really big fan of is the app. I hate when you have to have an app in order to use all the features of a device. You would think you'd be able to access everything from the headphones themselves somehow, but Sony has offered you a lot of customization features within the app. And they have this feature called Speak to Chat or something like that. But what this feature does is it turns down your music when it thinks someone's talking to you or when you're talking to someone else. I don't remember the circumstance, but it doesn't work. It would totally go off randomly and not when I started talking or someone started talking to me. And what happens is you get an audible beep in your ears and then your music volume lowers and then it comes back up. Now imagine that happening all day for no reason. That's what happens when you have this feature on. So I guess that's the best part of the app, is that you can turn this feature off with it. But beyond that, these have been an ideal set of headphones. So if you're in a situation like me where in-ear headphones do not work and have never worked for you and you're losing faith, perhaps you should give these a try before you give up on the style completely. Alright, that's about it. We'll wrap things up here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leaving a like and subscribing is always helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.